Hi there, welcome to Dave in the Shed. I'm Dave and this is my little corner of the world, also known as the Shed Mahal. Now if you're into DIY, 3D printing and model trains, you've come to the right place. Now fair warning, I do things a little bit differently. I have cerebral palsy, which means sometimes things get a little bit creative around here, but hey, it just makes it more fun. So if you like making, fixing, and maybe even breaking things along the way, stick around. Hit that subscribe button and let's build something awesome together.
Down in the shed where the magic begins, Dave's got his tools, let the fun commence. 3D printing dreams, watch him come alive. With every little gadget, man, he starts to thrive. Blueprints in hand, technology so keen, building up the future like a crafty machine. Model trains rolling on a whimsical track. In this shed of wonder, there's no time to slack. Oh, Dave in the shed where the vibes stay high. Creating with passion, he's reaching for the sky. DIY master in a vibrant samba flow. Hope you enjoyed the video, let's get ready to go. Let's get ready to go.
Well, welcome to this Friday update from Dave in the Shed. It is going to be a short and sweet update, only because it's cold, it's wet, it's miserable, and the big diesel heater has pooped itself. It had, as we talk in jet engine terms during the week, a flame out. For some reason, yeah, it must have carbonised up the glow plug and raw fuel exploded in the chamber. So anyway, that was interesting. So I've got to do a pull down to clean up on that. It's probably carbonised something up quite badly. But because it's cold and wet and miserable without the diesel heater running, it's like not a fun job to do. Might even invest in a new combustion chamber and put a new one in and then recondition this one, have the spare. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, it's down the track. I did do the work on the free car rail unit, putting the spacers in. It is attempting to run at the moment, but it's like typical live stuff. It's been running around the layout, and of course then we start recording and it derails. I have put the spacers in the bogies, so they are running a bit better, but I'm still having issues with couplers. I thought I sat down and spent time getting them all height adjusted and getting them all set up, but no, the couplers are still causing issues. I've weighted all the carriages up, put spacers in the bogies like we said. I've got to go through, and a hassle with some of these Bachmann bogies is they're not engaged properly often. I did build a re-gauging jig, so I'll have to sit down and re-gauge everything. But yeah, so it's still not, hang on, changing hands in the camera and talking. Live video. It's still not running as expected. It's running. I just can't get it spot on to how I would like it. But I haven't been spending a lot of time with it because it's been cold and it's been miserable. We did have a gap in the weather on Monday, which was very nice. I had to go out and do some transferring some bulbs, a couple of big lilies around the side of the place. I had to pull out the bulbs and transfer them and split them up and do that. Took advantage of that on Monday, which was good because it got it done. All the rain we've had since will probably do wonders for those bulbs. But apart from that, I've actually been very, very lazy. A lot of playing, oh, come on, I've just re-railed it. It's already derailed again. There is something going on with these bogies, and I think I'm going to have to sit down and re-gauge them. I think the issue is somewhere these bogies, even though they are meant to be the top of the range, are not engaged. They're not quite on because they don't ride the rails too well. absolutely annoying. Absolutely annoying. But anyway, that's where we're up to this week. Now, I do have the old Kero heater going in here, which is nice. Does pump out some heat, does pump out warm. Only hassle is when you light up the Kero heater, it puts out a lot of soot and dust. I run it close to that. Look at that. It is pumping out some heat. Getting adjusted is a bit of a pain, but when it's running and when you adjust it, it does put out great big plumes of sooty smoke. So only running it just to keep a bit of warmth so I don't freeze to death while quickly making this video. So that's where we're up to. Really is a short and sweet video this week, mainly due to the weather. Let's try this. There was some couplers on eBay that are the ones I want, and I did send a post to the bloke about are these the right couplers, but got gibberish back from him. So it's derailed there for no reason. There is no reason for that to derail there. The point is not against it. The frog's that for that bogey to climb out like that. That is very straight. Yeah, so I'm going to have to sit down with my magic gauging tool and look at re-gauging those bogeys, because it just doesn't track. It literally doesn't track. It doesn't track on the track and doesn't track on my mind that they would do that there sometimes and not others. Anyway, if you've got any suggestions, folks, let me know. Because look at that. And this one here's already derailed. And all I did was roll it backwards a bit. Okay, let's try something silly. I'm going to pull out this centre car. Just dump that there. We'll just run it as a 2K unit and see if we have any success. I really would like to set it up as a 3K unit, but anyway. You've seen it run around the layout perfectly other times in our videos. If you look at last week's video and probably the video before, it runs around, not a problem. The next thing on this is I've got to put the windows in and do that in and fight stuff. But anyway, I really do have to spend some quality time with it and have a severe talking to. Have a severe talking to it. Because as a 2K unit, it can run beautifully, and that is with the power unit pushing the trailer car. So there is some jinx going on that if you run it as a 3K unit, mentioning that the dummy car has the same bogies that is under the centre car, but for some reason that centre car doesn't run. I've got to do a bit of a paint touch up and a few bits and pieces. All jobs that will wait till when it's a bit more clement, weather is not so upsetting. I've actually even started to put a lean-to out the front door because it's just been so wet getting in and out of the place. Put a tarp up, sort of like between the tea house and the garden shed and Mum's old clothesline, would you believe, to try and get in and out of the shed without getting absolutely soaking wet, because the amount of rain we have is phenomenal. There are reports this morning of local flooding. Yeah. And I was going to tell you all about the new toy I bought to help with doing some of the stuff around the layout, but no, that will save, keep you all in suspense for next week's video. And how annoying is that? But it will run as a 2K unit. Now, I am not going to stuff around with putting headlights on and other bits and pieces on this unit, because being a 2K unit, if I sort of want the power car with headlights, and that it's going to look silly on the other end when the non-powered end has no headlights whatsoever. And because then you'd have to stuff around with putting in DCC chips and all sorts of stuff like, no, let's not do that. So the next step in this process is the windows and the paint touch-up, and then some lining out of bits and pieces. So that's it. Well, short and sweet video. Just a quick Friday update because nothing really is going on. Because it's just been inside weather, and I've been increasing my scores on World of Battleships. Going out there and doing a lot of World of Battleships and watching old episodes of The Bill, watching a few movies, and that's it. So we'll wait for this to come around again, and we'll say see you later. Keep dry, keep warm, keep safe, look after yourselves. If you're not out in your shed doing stuff, probably inside planning future projects. Okay. Talk to you later. See if I can solve the mystery of the third car. It's got me stuffed. It's a little bit of bonus video on the end for people who watch the video to the end. You get to see the chaos that Dave does. It's not pleasant weather.